American people stand firm in the faith which has inspired this nation from the beginning. We believe that all men have a right to equal justice under law and equal opportunity to share in the common good. We believe that all men have the right to freedom of thought and expression. We believe that all men are created equal because they are created in the image of God. From this faith, we will not be moved.
Hello and welcome to the Freedom of Thought podcast. I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Freedom of Thought is available on all of your favorite podcasting apps. I thank each and every one of you once and always for downloading and listening to this show. It is a great pleasure to be back on board with you once again today. Well, I guess we're going to get a little more political on this episode, so it is what it is. Joe Biden is done. I mean, he's done, and it is what it is. It's not like, okay, Trump is the president, where it's game over. No, we absolutely cannot think that way, just like we thought we had a red wave coming a couple years ago, and should have, but we all know how the left behaves. We all know how they don't play fair. So obviously there are deep staters on the right as well that have helped this nonsense continue to go on. But I mean, Joe Biden's done in so many ways, yet it's also kind of scary in a sense as to how things could turn out here, that it may be like the left literally just left him hanging intentionally because they want to move on from him. It's like, okay, we've been pumping him up and keeping him going all this time with this or that, and it's like, okay, Joe, you're on your own this time, and he's probably like, yeah, I got this, and then you heard stuff like this.
Well, how are you? Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare, we're trying to provide housing for Black Americans. The impact on the choice. The idea that they're gonna, I'm been proposing that everybody, the millionaires pay 1%. So no one I've not raised the cost of Social Security for anybody. I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. And wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare us to be able to negotiate drug prices with the big pharma companies. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it just stopped. And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
Yeah, he's done. He's literally done. Like, is he still alive? He was pumped up for that debate, wasn't he? He's like, oh yeah, bring it on, Donald Trump or whatever. Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, you got him. Go get you got him, Joe. Wow, you, yeah. There was, I mean, just the expressions on Trump's face. He wasn't trying to make a scene. That's the whole point, which is actually really impressive with how Trump handled this debate. Back in 2020, they were both talking over each other, and I can understand that was a massive turnoff. It was just, no, but this, and it was obnoxious, and people did take it as, yeah, it was, it was a huge turnoff for people that were kind of in the middle. This time around, Trump was about as presidential as you can be in a lot of ways, when you consider he just kind of let Joe do his thing, and then just like when Joe would pretty much lose his train of thought, like literally every 2 or 3 seconds, Trump would kind of turn and be like, "Really? What the hell?" It was kind of funny, and he didn't do it to be funny. It was just like, wow, he really isn't there. He's not there. That was the real Joe Biden, folks. The real Joe Biden, please stand up. Yeah, and I do not like Eminem at all, but I did use that quote just now. I hate Eminem. Okay, sorry. No, I just love him. He's the greatest thing ever. He's so cool. Yeah, sure he is. No, and Joe Cool isn't cool either. No, he's really not. At least not this Joe Cool. Yeah, I mean, he literally sounded like somebody that maybe just got out of bed after a massive hangover or something. And not that I would know anything about hangovers, thankfully. Thank you, Lord, for that. But that's what he sounded like. Just like literally no train of thought. Just kind of nothing there. And this is like the ultimate, like, I'm going to stick it to Trump here. Obviously I'm way better. I have way more going on. But that's kind of what the debate was like, back and forth, on and on and on and on throughout the entire debate. Trump was presidential. Trump was solid. And he came in with the approach of, hey, this guy's the worst president of all time. And there's just no doubt about it. Cutting off the pipelines, cutting and running from Afghanistan. Like, you got to leave slowly and gracefully. You don't just boop, cut and run and then leave people there hanging and leave billions and billions of dollars of weapons and artillery there for terrorists to take. Smart stuff. It was literally like that. All of that was intentional, because it probably was. As senile and lost and gone as Joe Biden is, all of that was intentional. And of course, he is taking orders from his former, president cohort, Barack Obama. And I got to think that people like Barack Obama and others that are, literally running the Democrat Party, the shadows in the wall, so to speak, that are running the Democrat Party, are literally set Joe Biden up that way, instead of like pumping him up like they did in 2020, because the number one goal there was to get Trump out of office. Whereas in this case, it's also to push Biden out, but to get, hopefully, in their mindset anyway, a better candidate that can keep Trump out of office. Right now, ultimately, at the end of the day, put it this way, if everything was pure and honest, start to finish, this would be one of the greatest landslides of all time, regardless who would take over for Joe Biden. Not just Joe Biden, not just if it was Trump versus Biden. I mean, it would be a legendary landslide. There's even a chance Trump could win in Minnesota. Whereas, like, places where I work and the Twin Cities in general, I'm kind of stuck in this environment where how the heck could a Republican ever win in Minnesota? It's possible. In the Twin Cities, no, probably not. Like 1 in a bajillion chance. Because the Democrats here just keep digging in deeper and deeper and deeper, and they're becoming more and more hardened. Their hearts are becoming harder towards just being the left. Pro-abortion, farther and farther after birth. They're further and further about that, like stuff like that, like more and more abortions, abortion, gay. I mean, I've gotten to a point where I call Golden Valley Rainbow Valley. That's how pro-gay Golden Valley has become, and how many there are. I have nothing against the person. It's the behavior and the mindset that I disagree with. I have nothing against the human being at all. Nothing against. I mean, I've gotten along with plenty of people that are, you could call them homosexual. I've gotten along with them, but at the same time, I fundamentally disagree with the way they live their life. I'm sorry, I fundamentally disagree, but that does not mean I hate them. It does not mean I want anything to do with any type of group that would want to like harm them or anything like that. No, I have absolutely no desire to harm anybody, but fundamentally disagree. Yes. Would I, if I was a baker, would I bake a wedding cake? No, I wouldn't. And if you have the right, and if you have the right, which you should in a free country, to say no, yeah, I mean, you should, yeah, I mean, I would say no. In a fascist country where it's like bake it or die, basically, I don't know what else to say. It's just ridiculous. I mean, I would hope it never got to that point. That would be pretty bleeping ridiculous. But no, I mean, there is no way Joe Biden's even a president at this point. It's got to be, somebody else pulling the strings at this point. I mean, it probably always has, but a lot of people think Jill Biden is kind of secretly running things because she kind of has to. And both of them are both of the Joe and Jill Biden are insanely power hungry, power mad. It's sad, but they truly are. Anybody that is power hungry should never be a leader. Not in the workplace, not in the playground, not on a sports team, not owning a franchise, not running a country, not being a senator, not being a dog catcher, whatever. You should, if you crave power, step aside, bub. You have no business having power. If you crave power, you don't deserve power. You have no business having power if you crave it. And quite frankly, that's how I see the Bidens. They crave power. And you know who else craves power? And I mean craves power? Barack Obama. Barack Hussein Obama. Barack Insane Obama. And I think Kamala Harris obviously craves power. You can see it, even though she's just a clown. And it's not because she's a female. Let me tell you. There are plenty of females of white skin, of color skin, of Asian, whatever the heck you want to say. That would be awesome as a vice president, maybe even as a president, as a governor, as a senator, a congresswoman, a congressperson, whatever you want to say, a supervisor in the workplace, a manager in the workplace, a director in the workplace. If you have the right attitude, good for you. If you have a rotten attitude and you're just there for power, like girl power, we run the place, get the hell out of here. Pardon my French. Just go. I want no part of that nonsense. Absolutely none. Anybody that craves power is a complete idiot. And again, you're just nothing but trouble. You're literally nothing but trouble, and you're going to destroy whatever entity you're trying to lead, be it the country, be it a tiny little Dairy Queen somewhere in, Rush City, Minnesota. I don't even know if they have a Dairy Queen, but I'm just imagining, something like that. A tiny little place. If you're just some power hungry jackass, get the heck out of here. Just go. Heck, even doing DoorDash, there was this manager, nope, I'm going to do it this way. We're doing it this way. Screw the delivery people. They can just stand there for 40 minutes if it takes. We're just going to help the people that are inside that just got here rather than this other person that ordered this food like 40 minutes ago because I'm running the show. That's where power-hungry people fail because, you're losing customers that are ordering delivery when you do stuff like that. You're screwing over the people that ordered something long ago because of your stubbornness and your arrogance. Stupid. I even witnessed that driving DoorDash about a year and a half ago, and my jaw dropped. Like, I can't believe what I'm watching. Is this person an idiot? So, just a complete idiot. So, it's stuff like that. Just a minor thing, something as small as that, shows you where being power hungry can really mess things up and send you in the wrong direction. So, before I forget, I've already put the Joe Biden thing in there, but that was just live here because it's the only way I can really do it. I apologize for the guerrilla-style audio there, but it's the only way I can officially do it right now. I used to have better ways of doing things like that, but hopefully the quality was good, was decent anyway. We are going to hear now from our friend from South Dakota now instead of Nebraska, Gerald Syring. Gerald, take it away, buddy.
Hey, Joey, Gerald out of South Dakota. Quick calling for freedom of thought. Hey, I do like the new logos, and this last one that you did, I think I do like the best. So, love the new music. Love the show. Listen to every episode. Sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times. So, anyway, especially the O.J. Simpson episode. So, really enjoyed that one. And after I listened to that a couple times, I went on YouTube, and you can dig out some clips on that. And it was just very interesting that a trial of that magnitude how little evidence they actually used or didn't even want to use, didn't want to look at. Um, don't know if we'll ever know. I don't know. I really don't know if OJ did it or, um, I think I'm leaning a little bit more on your theory of the sun. It makes a lot more sense when you look at all the evidence. And then even one of the clips, I think they could have went back and actually looked at some cell phone records. I think Nicole, OJ, and the son all had cell phones, I think. So I think they could have went back and dug some of that out. I mean, they could have looked at a lot of evidence that they just didn't want to. And yeah, again, I just think your theory, I think, made a lot more sense. I enjoyed 3-4 years ago you did the 911. I really enjoyed that. Sometimes you just hate going back and digging that back out again, But after I listened to that episode, I did go back, and it was very interesting. And I just kind of enjoy doing stuff like that. I enjoy looking at evidence and making my own mind up. I kind of like all that conspiracy theory stuff. I like there's one on Alcatraz, how those guys got out. I actually believe there's some pretty good evidence out there that they did make it out. I like the DB Cooper stuff. I mean, just anything like that. I really enjoyed that. So anyway, I just wanted you to know that. Appreciate you, Joey. Love the shows, and we'll talk at you later. See ya.
Thank you so much, Gerald. That was awesome. Really appreciate that. And, I'm glad you like the new logo. Anybody out there also that wants to comment one way or another on the logo, I've made a couple changes here. It started from the flag with the turquoise freedom of thought, and then got to the misty forest with kind of like the horror movie lime green freedom of thought. Horror movie font. That was the mistake. I mean, I should have changed the font. The background was pretty cool. This one looks more kind of a Lord of the Rings-ish looking mystic forest with kind of a turquoise and British kind of Legend of Zelda-ish font and such. So hopefully you guys like the logo out there. Thank you, Gerald. I'm glad you do. I was hoping. I know Paul said he likes the other one more. Not because of the horror movie looking font, like Friday the 13th look, which, again, that was the mistake. Yeah, if I could bring that other font, but I can't find that other background anymore for some reason. I can't find it, which is really annoying. But yes, I know Paul Caniff will talk about the Mandela effect someday. He has a ton of knowledge. That's another thing. But yeah, the other two items, I forgot what the second one you said, but I know you mentioned Alcatraz. That could be an interesting topic someday to bring on the show. Maybe even have you on to talk about that one. We'll see. Otherwise, again, yeah, I have to do some research on that. I don't have much knowledge on that one at the moment, but do some learning. Holy cow, maybe it's pretty amazing. I'm sure it is. Maybe we'll talk about JFK off and on. I brought it up a little bit. Obviously 9/11, like you said. And yeah, there's a lot there, man. The OJ case, yeah, talk about a lot. Holy cow. Yep, and William Deere, I believe, what is he, 86 years old now? Bill Deere, William Deere out of Texas. An amazing private eye who solved a lot of cases before the OJ case. His reputation was exquisite. And then it seemed like this OJ case kind of pushed him into being more obscure now, unfortunately, which is stupid because a lot of people write him off because, oh, he thinks OJ didn't do it. No, OJ did it. I hate that attitude. I hate it. It's so stupid. It's the same attitude that pretty much that the left does when you bring up anything about JFK, anything about 9/11, or anything else really out there. Pretty much everything is just like the news media is perfect and honest, and they bring the story and all that. You know, they bring you the story. A lot of them bring you the story that they want to bring. You know, it's a lot more opinion based and dishonest. And maybe New World Order based as well. Forced to tell the story a certain way. They're not really bringing you the full story a lot of times, in my opinion. Yeah, the OJ case, yeah, incredible. It's crazy to think how much information was covered up in that one, or was just pushed aside because OJ did it. OJ did it. And if they just started to open the door a little bit, even in some of the dispositions, with Jason Simpson way back in 94, right about the time, just maybe a week or so after the murders, the disposition, they started going down a road a rabbit hole. That's the best way to go. That's the term we use nowadays in the radio and TV and all that. The radio especially. And even when preaching and sermons, right, at church, not me doing it, just, yeah. But the rabbit hole, they were thinking, so, yeah, they were asking Jason questions like his whereabouts and this and that. And then it's like, it was like almost like it's like they hit a wall, like they just kind of stopped suddenly, like, wait a minute, this is leading down a rabbit hole that we weren't planning on going down. Anyhow, thanks, Jason, for your time. Have a good one. Thank you, Jason. Really appreciate you. And it's like, really? You just stopped when they started going down a rabbit hole of, wait a minute, Jason had no alibi whatsoever. And he also was upset at Nicole. Interesting. He was upset, like, to a point, like, not like he couldn't believe she would do that. It just really hurt. You know, he was kind of like that. And it's like, you know, that she would stand him up like that when it was finally his chance to show people what he can do. Because he'd been kind of treated like the black sheep of the family forever. And finally, it was his chance to be the star. It was his chance to be the star. He got to be the chef for the family in front of OJ, Nicole, and others. And then she's like, no, we're not coming. No, I told you we're not coming. Just go away. You know, leave me alone. I'm going with Ron. You know, I'm gonna, you know, Ron's coming over or something. Or, yeah, we're going to the Mezzalina, I believe it's called, there where Ron Goldman works. And, well, and then one thing after another, you know, led to this and that. You know, one thing after another led to this and that. I remember, again, on the TV, the show where they were talking about it with an aged William Deere, where he presented to them like, hey, he got off early and had time. He had opportunity to get to Nicole's Sunset residence. And what the heck? He didn't have time, but then it's like, wait a minute, I can't believe we made it. Remember I talked about that on that episode? I can't believe we made it. And it's like, yeah, you did make it. Oh, but that's just luck, though. We just ran through red lights. Oh, I'm sure Jason was just driving all Sunday, da-da-da-da-da. I'm sure he was driving like just all Sunday driver, like some, 65-year-old who has nowhere to be at 10 o'clock at night because they're just chilling. He's just chilling his way. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. No, he was driving like a frickin' maniac because Jason Simpson was a maniac, especially when he was upset. Evidence shows that Jason Simpson was a maniac. He was absolutely running red lights. He was absolutely speeding. He was absolutely, he was angry. He was upset. He wanted to tell her off. Maybe not kill her. I'm sure he didn't want to kill her. I don't think it was first-degree murder. It was second-degree. It was rage. Like blankety blank, blank, blank. Lots of bad words were probably said. And one thing led to another. And he had basically not a seizure, but like a seizure, where you just kind of black out and go on an insane, violent outrage. And that's what happened. Unfortunately, that's my belief as to what happened to Nicole. But listen to the episode, OJ case, what really happened, ? Not saying what really happened, like I know. No, I don't know. But I believe Bill Deere's theory. And, yes, I believe Bill Deere's theory. When you kind of analyze the whole situation and you look at it, and then, of course, all the things those guys tested out on the TV. I forgot the name of the show. I was so pissed off at them that I just kind of shut them off after that. I never watched the show again after that day. Dead serious. I forgot the name of the show. I probably don't even have the channel anymore either. That's probably... Actually, it might have been ID channel. It might have been. I think it was the... Investigation Discovery. I don't think I have it anymore because they got too expensive or whatever. And the channel though, but the show, I was furious the way they just wrote the guy off, even though there was no reason to write him off, Bill Deere. There was no reason to write him off and write off what evidence he presented, what theories he presented. They just wrote it off like, nah. It was so dumb and bullcrap, honestly. But now I'm going down a huge rabbit hole. Yeah, you got me going again. I was very passionate about that episode. I'm actually kind of... so far, that show hasn't really caught fire. It really hasn't. It hasn't really gotten too viral. On YouTube, because you know how these podcasts go into podcast form onto YouTube? Like, it counts as a video, even though it's not a video. It's like audio with like just the logo of the episode up there. It's done decent on there, on YouTube, because it's just, I don't know, maybe it kind of just automatically reaches more. But the actual podcast form, I'm kind of sad so far. The numbers haven't been that hot for that show. They haven't stood out, but I put a lot of work in that one, and tell your friends about it if you could, anybody out there, and approach it with an open mind, like I've said before. And again, always approaching things with an open mind as well. Some of you that might be in DoorDash, that might be in the service industry out there, Donald Trump is going to remove taxes for tips. And my parents have actually been approaching things that way when like say, like they go out to eat, like say maybe me and my nephews go with them, which happens sometimes. They'll write the server a tiny little note at the end of the night saying that Donald Trump plans to remove taxes from tips. So, yeah, consider that, please. Stop just being, oh, Trump is bad and Biden good, even though Biden clearly has messed a lot of things up intentionally because that's the policies they want. Wake up. Stop looking at the policies as dumb as you have been lately, the last X amount of years. Stop being fooled by Orange Man bad, Democrats good. I don't know about Orange Man bad or Democrats good, man. I really don't. I think it's new, lad. I'm afraid it's the other way around, as Scrooge McDuck told Donald Duck years ago when Donald made a very dumb statement in an episode. What goes down must come up. No, lad, I'm afraid it's the other way around. That was a funny one. My brother laughed so hard years ago. We were, what were we, like, I don't know, 12 years old, something like that. DuckTales was a great show. Maybe I'll do a podcast. Maybe I'll do an episode about classic cartoons someday. Freedom of thought. I mean, it would just be a single episode. I mean, I'm not going to turn that into a big series like, we're going to talk about cartoons. Probably not. It might be just like a segment, honestly, or one episode. Just great cartoons that we enjoyed. That might be an idea someday. But no, great thoughts. Thank you very much, Gerald. You're an awesome person. You really are. Salt of the earth. Like, no doubt about that. And yeah, I had to get on and comment about the Biden-Trump debate. That was, I mean, it's just, in all bleeping honesty, it's, if things are honest and fair here, Trump should win like bigger than Richard Nixon did, where obviously Nixon was the last Republican to win the state of Minnesota in a presidential election. It should be Nixon-McGovern level. Like, seriously, like McGovern was just kind of like, I don't know, what was he, kind of like an ultra-left, and back then, that kind of nonsense wasn't really accepted. And it really shouldn't be. Ultra-left is not good. It's not. It's what good has it done for anybody, honestly? What good has it done? Do you really think society's better because of the ultra-left? Do you really think having pink hair, green hair, short hair, and I don't know, like just living in like your own world and blocking everybody else out because you're so cool? Do you really think that's better society than treating each other with respect and courtesy and kindness? I mean, weren't liberals supposed to be all about kindness and being nice to people? Well, it seems like it's the absolute opposite, honest to God. It really does. Like, oh, I'm just going to have my head in my phone all day, and that's it. That seems to be the attitude everywhere you go. So that's my frustrations when it comes to the left and kind of acting like they're so nice and we're all just a bunch of evil racists and such. Racist how? If Donald Trump and the, as we call it, MAGA Republicans or MAGA conservatives or MAGA whatever we are a cult and are so evil, why are so many black people on our side now? What do you think of that? Yeah, I just smile every time. You see, like just an example, a name like Lamont. People like that on my Facebook page. I don't even know him personally, but they're MAGA. What, are they racist too? Are they racist? Huh? There are so many. Like what? Nikki Boom. That's just another random name. Was it Diamond and Silk? Unfortunately, Silk is the only one left. Diamond passed away on us. I couldn't believe it. Just suddenly got sick and died on us. Terrible sadness. Yeah, they're conservative, very conservative. They're not racist either. So it's just absolutely crazy and stupid how people come out and say that just because he wants borders. Okay, so that would make just about every country on the planet racist then. And some of those people really are. Like, they really don't want any of you near them. Whenever they're always in their cliques and their groups when you go out to eat or you go to anywhere or you're at work. They want nothing to do with you. They're only friendly to people that look like them. I think that's a hell of a lot more racist than any of us. My goodness. I mean, I'm racist because I'm conservative. Sure, I say hi and hello to everybody. I don't just look away unless I see someone who looks like me. Oh, hey, like you're all overly nice to those people. And then somebody who doesn't look like me, I just act like they're not even there. That's racist. So there I go down another rabbit hole, but that's racist. That's where the nonsense comes in, and people like Biden telling, like, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. That's freaking laughable. Like, seriously, it's freaking laughable. Again, pardon my French. I think that's, I don't know, are there any other comments? I better check this and get going here. I'm going to check on, because this is obviously an in-studio episode. I'm guessing the audio is a little bit better, I hope. Oh, yeah, the Facebook page, facebook.com/freedom of thought. No, I'm not going to undo it. Why would I do that? Yeah, this is an amazing one. Obviously, the Happy Birthday United States Army. I read that in the last episode. Okay, so there's two men of color, George Floyd and Justice Clarence Thomas, side by side. Pretty big contrast there, huh? Ask yourself why you've been encouraged to look up to the man on the left, that'd be George Floyd, instead of the man on the right, Clarence Thomas. Exactly. Ask yourself. Seriously. And I hear people say, I hate him with a passion. You hate Clarence Thomas with a passion. Because of why? Because he doesn't agree with your warped point of view of the world and think everybody's an angry racist? Okay, well, sorry to hear that. Maybe you're the angry person because you're the one using the word hate. Oh, I think I gotcha. Gotcha! So here we go, another one. These are two men of color again. Make America Great Again, Trump hat. Or is it Trump 24, but it's red. Joe, with the Joe Biden logo or whatever. Joe and the Ho gotta go. Yep, Joe and the Ho gotta go. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, yeah, who got up there by not being the most moral person, in my humble opinion. Did I say that out loud? I think I did. Yep, that was awesome. I forget if there was anything on Instagram. It might have just been like. I know Jessica Eiler liked the Floyd versus Clarence Thomas image. Jessica Eiler out of California, former classmate. Maranatha Christian Academy. Well, yeah, you could say classmates forever in a lot of ways. For about 9 years, first grade up until, yes, I do remember the exact amount of first grade up until, what year? 9th grade. That's when I unfortunately left because just, private schools are too expensive. It's just, I wish they weren't, but what are you going to do? It's kind of almost like, I almost feel like a greedy person even being in a private school, but it was a nice Christian atmosphere, though, there's no doubt. I believe it's just a like. Yep, Jessica Eiler, thank you. And then the Joe and the Ho I just put up there. So there it is. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you guys. And yeah, I had to get something out there about this whole Biden situation. Is he going to just stay in there and Trump is going to crush him? Or are they going to try to cheat like we've never seen? I mean, they know they're going to lose, right? they know they're going to lose. I mean, even CNN was like, Biden got beat. Simply got thrashed in that. Even CNN was saying Biden got thrashed. And other left-wing news outlets said that Joe Biden got absolutely pummeled. And basically was basically like not a good showing whatsoever. Even Barack Obama said, somebody's going to have, he was kind of playing the game, obviously, setting Biden up, I think. I think he'd love to see Biden fail so he could put his wife in there, if it is his wife. if Big Mike really is his wife. That's what they call her, Big Mike. You can figure out what that means on your own. It means Michelle. Yeah, it does. But, yeah. Anyhow, now I'm doing a Joe Biden here. Well, anyway. But I'm sure he'd like to see Biden out of the way and possibly Big Mike taking over as president of the United States. So Obama could basically be president again anyway, which would pretty much be what would happen. Imagine that. Obama would be president again. That'd be just wonderful. Yes, Dan Bongino continues to say that there's no way Michelle Obama will be going for president because she hates politics and such. But she's been quite a race baiter over the years. So she certainly hasn't been afraid to run her mouth about that. But yeah, I mean, if that's what he says, though, she wants nothing to do with being like a public figure. But I'm sure that's even more reason that Barack would actually be in charge the whole time. So yeah, very political episode. Yeah, but it's going to happen. Of course, a time like this, you're going to have some political episodes, and then we're going to go back into the book of Genesis, maybe book of Enoch. What the heck? This show is all over the place, and that's what it's all about. It's not going to get too silly, like we're going to talk about cartoons for, 7 episodes in a row. No, it's going to stay basically, I'm a conservative Christian. You're going to get biblical history, that stuff that may seem mythological when it's really not mythological. It's like real stuff, like crazy, like giants and such. So it's just amazing stuff. Book of Enoch, book of Genesis, and other books in the Bible. It's not just Genesis. It's just that's kind of when a lot of that really, is mentioned the most at the end of the day. So, but with that said, we're going to wrap things up here. I want to thank you so much for listening. Please tell your friends about the show. Check out that OJ episode if you haven't yet. Check it out. Seriously. Open your mind. Go into it with an open mind instead of just, OJ did it. Go in with an open mind. And then maybe you'll actually like it. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.